I'd like to thank the member for Wentworth for the opportunity to speak on electrification and the role the federal government can play in encouraging electrification of our households, because we know that the role of electrification of our households is incredibly important to mitigate the climate crisis and to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. It'll also help lower the costs of everyone's energy bills, which is incredibly important. And these are established facts. We know that this is not only an example that we can achieve here in Australia, but right across the world. And there are also added benefits. It simplifies construction by just having one source of energy going into a home. It also reduces maintenance costs. It helps quieten households on how they operate. And it also creates scores and scores of jobs in the construction industry and energy creation. When I was having a chat to some in my community, Deputy Speaker, about this over the weekend, and I again thank the member for putting this motion up, a lot of people kind of don't really understand what the benefits of electrification are and how that'll help diversify our energy needs. So rather than just relying upon gas or coal for heating, we know we've got gas-fired cooktops, we've got gas-fired solar heaters, and of course central heating. By electrifying those household appliances, we can actually diversify the energy power that we need to power those things. So when the gas prices spike, as we see at the moment, we can switch to obviously the most cheapest and abundant form of energy we have at the moment, being renewables. Having one source of power go into a household and power everything means that we're not exposed to these international shocks in energy prices across the world. So cheaper energy prices is, of course, one of the main motivators to electrify everything, and it also enables us to reduce emissions, which is incredibly important. Renewable energy is a huge part of the electrification of households. Transport, anywhere between 18 and 25% of our household emissions is by transport alone. If we electrify bus networks, if we electrify our own personal transport, then that, of course, will mean that emissions are reduced. And thankfully, Deputy Speaker, we finally have a government that gets this, that understands it. You look to the former government and we see that they had 10 years of division and delay, and even in the opposition leaders' budget reply, still seemingly ridiculing the role that renewable energy can play in our economy and in reducing emissions across the nation. So we have a government that gets electrification, that understands its importance, and is also delivering policies that will help us achieve it. Look to our magnificent community battery program, over 400 community batteries funded, $224 million committed in the budget, and very proud to confirm, Deputy Speaker, that one of those community batteries will be in our community in North Epping. And what these community batteries can do is encourage people to get solar, but for those who have solar, to be able to store that excess power that they don't use during the day, store that in the community battery to then use at night. It reduces the cost for an individual to get a battery at each home, and it'll help. A 500 megawatt hour battery will help about 250 households power their home with cheap, emissions-free renewable technology. We are so excited to be able to roll this out as part of the Albanese government. I know many members are very happy that some were committed during the election campaign, but of course many more to be rolled out through ARENA, through working with community groups. And I know that the community in Bennelong are incredibly excited to be able to participate in one of the first, and hopefully we see many of these. We see that policy kick-starts a battery revolution across our communities right across the nation, because we know that technology will not only help the grid, but will help reduce emissions. We know that the government is pushing a national EV strategy and putting an electric vehicle superhighway for chargers. These are all incredibly important investments. We finally, Deputy Speaker, have a government that gets it, have a government that is keen to reduce emissions through electrification. Thank you.